muted. This is always the same thing for me. I'm so sorry. So hello, dear friends. Welcome to Smashing Meats, the Happy Holiday Edition. And this is why I picked the right jumper, I hope, for this. We're still waiting for a few people to come in, and we are waiting for Mandy. She might be here any minute. So please drop by. Oh, Mandy, I can hear Mandy's footstep. Is it possible that she's actually coming in? Well, let's find out in just a moment. So, yes. Hello, Mandy. How are you doing today?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Excellent. How are you doing today? Are you festive and are you ready for the sensational session on how to do magic tricks with CSS? Oh, look at you. Well prepared.
Just, for fun times. I am very ready. Hopefully we'll have some fun.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Now, I don't want to, to steal time from you. What I know, oh, wow, you have Mandy written on your Christmas hat. This is very, very cute and very cool. Very festive indeed. So, excellent. Now, dear friends, we will be kind of kicking off with the welcome and all in half an hour, but we have something very, very special prepared by Mandy. Very special. And I've been, had the privilege of knowing Mandy now for a while, and I know a couple of things about Mandy. I do. Well, first of all, Mandy is incredible. Well, that goes without saying. But then there is also something else, which is she absolutely loves ClickPath and SVG, but also then, of course, everything that you can think of in CSS. I'm sure that she loves custom properties and probably maybe that is just my guess. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Something like text and playing with text. And I guess that this is exactly what this session is going to be about today. Is that true, Mandy?
It is. We're going to make some fun text effects. Well, I hope so. I'll show you some stuff that I've got, and then we'll make something together.
Excellent. Great. Then I'll leave it to you. So, dear friends, everyone, please give a round of very warm Christmas theme related emoji for one and only Mandy. If you think that you were going to just enjoy the show, no. Mandy will put you to work, and that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
Excellent, right. Mandy, the stage is yours.
Wonderful, thanks. Hello, everybody. What we're going to do is make some text effects, but because we've only got half an hour, we're going to just like get on into it. So I'm going to share my screen, and what I'll do is I'll show you some examples that I've made, and then what we'll do is I'll run through like a couple of like tricks and tips that you can do, and then maybe if you want to you can open up CodePen and make your own, and if you have questions, like just drop it in the chat and I'll see if I can help you, or you can use like send me your CodePen and I'll try and help you out if you get stuck, and I'll make one at the same time as well. Hopefully I'll come up with something good. Okay, so let's get underway. Let me just move, hang on, wait, before I do that, let me just move this over here because that's going to be awkward to get like sherry screen business going on.
Sure. Just while you do that, Mandy, just a quick note for all the attendees. Just so you know, in hopping here in the session, if you want to see one of the screens larger, you can actually double tap on one of the rectangles, and then you can actually make it a bit bigger. Just a quick, life hack, I guess, from my end. And I'm disappearing again.
Wonderful. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my CodePen collection, which I will paste into the chat, which I think you can all see. So I've got some examples here, and I'll click through a couple of them so you can see. Some of them are animated, some of them are not. This one is, candy canes, classic Christmas magic. If you're like not super into Christmas, you could do something that's like just a holiday, sparkles. This is an animated GIF in the background, so you can use animated GIFs as well, because I got a bit of a thing for animated GIFs at the moment. There's also like some gold text or some cookies you can see with this one. There is some folded text if it's going to click in. I don't know if anyone has seen my folded text effect, but I turned it into a Christmas themed version for today. And then, you've also got, this one I made last year. actually. It's a snow globe, and snow falls, and it builds up over time. So some examples that you can see to do. If you want to check any of those out, you can go to CodePen. You're welcome to copy those and do whatever you want with them. One more thing, if you want to copy any of my pre-existing text effects and like build off that, by all means, please do. I have another collection that's here called just text effects, and there's heaps of stuff in there. A lot of what I do is just copy and paste things and reuse them. So what I'm going to do now is give you a couple of quick tips for resources. I use UI gradients quite a lot. Pick the color you want, scroll through, grab a gradient. I use Google Fonts a lot. Remember, it's got a checkbox for variable fonts now. Normally what I do when I'm looking for a font is just type in the word that I'm looking for and then pick the one that looks the best. And then when I'm kind of trying to come up with ideas for text effects, I'll like search thing.texteffect. So for Christmas, there's actually quite a lot of options that you can go through. And you can kind of try and replicate that in CSS, which I like doing. So you can see there's like a candy cane one and, you know, gold text and that kind of stuff. I think that's the main stuff. Okay, cool. So some quick tips for making text effects. If you're going to do something, you know, you've got some text, I'm just going to make it say hello. Now, when I usually start this off, I'm just going to I'll just copy and paste this from somewhere because it'll be quicker. I've got one over here. Let's just make this real simple for us. I'm going to add a background picture. When I make text effects, I find that having a decent background inspires me. So I actually have a bunch of Christmas assets in CodePen that I already use. So let's pick one. No, that one's boring. This one, let's do that one. Yeah, I get inspired by the backgrounds. So we'll just make that a cover. And they kind of help me decide what I want it to look like. So I'll just copy some alignment stuff. Not super important, but I'm kind of fussy about alignments. So we'll make sure that my text is centered. And then we can chuck in the stuff for the text. So do I have anything? I'll just copy it out for sizing. I'm just copying from one of my other CodePens. So we've got some, okay, cool. All right, so now that we've got that, what we can do is maybe add, if you wanted to add like an image or a gradient in the background, which you use a lot for text effects, you can just do something like this. So you just add a background onto the H1. What do we want to do for background image? No, let's not do that. Let's keep it simple. Where was that red one? Maybe this one. Copy URL, paste that in. And it'll look a bit weird to start with because that's not what we want. Now there's a bit of a trick with this. You can go background, clip, and clip it to text. I've lost my screen. Okay, cool. You can clip it to text and you see that kind of doesn't really work. So then what you can do is say WebKit text fill color and you go transparent. And then we get the text. You can kind of sort of adjust how this looks by adjusting background size. So if you set it to cover, it'll sort of be a little bit different. So that's basically how you get like an image, GIF, video, like whatever. And sorry, not video, image, GIFs, all of that kind of stuff. Image gradients you can do as well. I do a lot of that. the second thing that you use a lot of when it comes to creating effects is like a text shadow. So some of the examples that I showed in my Christmas stuff, I don't know, what's this one? Oh yeah, so this one's got a bunch of text shadows in. So the way that you do that is just using the text shadow CSS properties. So for example, I'll just copy one from the gold one so I don't have to retype it. This one adds a sort of outline at the top and then a little bit of blur. So you can copy these, but you'll see with the background that when you put the text shadow on, our pretty cool background thing disappears. So there's a couple of ways around this, but because I like to do a bunch of layers, the way that I get around this is adding copies. Now, I used to do this with pseudo elements, but that's not great for accessibility anymore. So now I just make a copy and then we just like add ARIA heading to it, you know, so that the screen reader doesn't sort of read it out twice. So with that, I can just kind of go, I'm just copying from another CodePen that already exists, something like this. Just whack that. Let's make this bigger. Hopefully you can all see. I'm just looking at the screen where you, in case anyone has any questions, and then like you can move this sort of background stuff into the main copy, and that should main copy. Yeah, cool. What am I missing? Oh, hang on. Let's just save that too so I don't lose anything. Whoops. Oh, my friends, what have I missed? Oh, yeah, cool. I need to go. Oops, not there. Yeah, cool. I'll put my Z-index back. You need to set the Z-index to negative so that it sits behind the background. Did I mess up my text shadow? Is that why it's not showing? That should work. One second. What am I missing? Actually, I don't think I need that. Anyway, I can't find it, but regardless, when you have the text shadow, that'll kind of create a copy of it. It'll sit below. And then what you can also do, if you don't want to do a text shadow, is you can add like a filter on as well. So in this case, you can kind of see it's blurred a little bit, which I kind of like, or you can get rid of the blur and just have like a bit of a glow. I kind of like the glow, but you know, it depends on what you want to do. So there are some options that you can make to sort of have some text that does something kind of cool. You can mess around with the background size to adjust, you know, what the text looks like and kind of make something fun. So if you want to go ahead and kind of make something in CodePen and then like share what you got, or you know, does anyone have any ideas of something that they want to make? Anyone in the chat? I mean, I can continue to make some more if nobody wants to. I actually really like this one. If I can go through how this one's made. A Christmas hat. How do I make a Christmas hat out of text effect? That's I don't even know how I would do that. I'm sorry, I don't know how it, should we like Christmas text effects? How would I do that? White fluff along, yeah, but like, how would I do white fluff along the bottom? I'd need like a fuzzy font or something, because it kind of like clips it out at the text. So I have to kind of, I guess I kind of did something like that in, I've got snow globe text. Here's one that I prepared earlier. Where's my new Christmas? I lost my link. Here it is. So we got snow globe text. This one keeps pile. This kind of covers snow pile and snow globe, because the longer you add it, you leave it up. I don't know if you can see that. I should click in so you can see it kind of. So this one covers snow globe. I don't know how well you can see that in the screen. Let me just bring it over here. No, that's bad. Don't do that. This one has like snow globe. What I like about this one is it uses variable fonts. And as the effect kind of grows, it like, oh, thank you for sharing. Good thinking. It like builds up and the bottom kind of gets chunky. So it uses a font called Chi, which I really like and make a lot of text effects with. I guess one thing that you can do with text effects, which I kind of like, and I did in the folded text version of this. Is anyone gonna like make their own and share it with me? I'd like to see some other people's options. The way that you can create like a ribbon through text. So this one's a little bit different because of how it works, but because it like clips the text to fold it up. But if you take the sort of ribbon that I've made that goes through the middle there, and we whack it in this one, let's chuck it in here instead. Be a linear gradient, and then I'm just gonna like open up my Chrome here, people, so I can adjust it in. Sorry, my computer's running like real slow. Oh yeah, cool. Changing a multicolored gradient. Oh, I've got one of those already. Hang on, let me just adjust this. This one that we've got open. Multicolored gradient. Where are my other text effects? I had one of those, a multicolored gradient, in my classic text effects collection. So if you go into this one, I've got a lot of text effects. You asking me to do something, and it's like, as you can see, these are all of my text effects, but here's one with a multicolored gradient moving from left to right. So you could totally change the colors in this to kind of be something else. This actually moves the background, not the text, but you can do either. I just like the way that it kind of looked like the text was disappearing as it went through. So that's this one. Let me paste it in for you. Oh, thank you. Totally on it, Greg. Thank you so much. If we fork this and then we do like a Christmas version, what's Christmas colors like? Red, Christmas, I don't actually remember. Oh, most of these, let's just make the text say Christmas. Red, green, and white. Okay. Let's do it. I like this one. It's really simple. But once you've got it, let's make that a green. Kind of want like a dark green. Maybe like that red. And white, you say? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's whack that in here. And then this one has got another gradient here, but I need to reverse it. So it would be white and whatever color that was, red, I think. Red, green, and white. I don't really like the green in this. Maybe I should make it white on either end. That would be pretty nice, huh? It's like a blurry. Could you make a Christmas stocking with text being a name so it looked like a 3D with stitching? Yes, but not in 8 minutes. Do I have one like that? I might have one with stitching. Let me see. Let me see if I've got one. Oh, mistakes were made with this text. Now the animation is going the same, like the colors are in the same direction. Rookie mistake. Let's go green. Where did my extra window go? Yeah. Stitching. Did I have one with stitching? I guess the closest is the cookie one. I don't know if I ever finished my stitchy ones. There's some really good. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not that good. I need to plan if I was going to do a Christmas hat in 8 minutes. I don't know if I've got any stitchy. I mean, you could probably do it with something like this one, but these are made off like actual fonts. And I don't have any, like even this one here is kind of fabricy. It uses, I forget what the name of the font is, but it kind of layers the font to kind of get an effect. So you could do that kind of thing with stitching, but it would require quite a bit of layering. Or like, again, this one uses some layering. This kind of effect is actually really common in Christmas stuff. So if you wanted to, you could like copy this one and then make it red or green. Those colors tend to be like real common among the sort of Christmas text themings. I don't have any stitching. I don't think I'll be able to get stitching done that quickly. I might have to look for a font. I'll have a look during the main sessions. What did I end up doing to break this one? I tried to make the text the same, didn't I? Oh no, that's what I did. Forgot to finish my white. Will that work now? Yeah. It's handy when you've got a massive collection of pre-existing text effects, isn't it? But you know, they're all there for people to use if you want to. We've got 5 minutes. Any other requests that are accomplishable in 5 minutes? Shall I just make something fun? I like this cookie one. Sparkles. Oh, Okay, you want sparkles? Where was my original? I've clicked around too much now. Shall we take a quick closer look at the sparkly holiday one? Which is probably my favorite. I do like the cookie one though. The cookie one was cute. So with the sparkles, we basically just set it up the way that I hope this is appropriate level of sparkle for you. It's basically just using a GIF to, I might actually have another GIF in my as the background image. Let's see if I've got any other GIFs. I think I've got another GIF in here somewhere. Oh, this one. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter what kind of background it is. I picked one that I thought looked good with my gold baubles. Have I ever tried an animated background mask like that instead of a GIF? Yes, I have. So as you can see, you can change the thing. I'd probably change all my drop shadows to a bit of a silver if I was going to do this. Have I done a mask background? Do I have one in this collection? I did make one, but I think I might have deleted it accidentally and I've never remade it. But I've actually done it with a mask. And sort of like this with a blend mode as well. So this one, this is kind of holiday-ish. I don't know about everyone else, but in Australia, it's hot at Christmas time. So this is probably the most appropriate Christmas-themed Australia thing I've shown, the beach. But this one uses an image that I've actually animated the image. Like I've sort of just, I think, transformed it so that it moves behind the text. You can put like a video or anything with these kinds of things. I just don't have the video one I did anymore because I accidentally deleted it, which was a bit silly. But the way this works, what I like about the mask, the blend modes, is that you can see that the image blends into the shadow as well, which is this massive, silly, long text shadow here. But I think that's super cool because when you're doing the background clip, it clips it straight to the text, so you don't get any kind of blur. But with this one, you get like it also does the cursor, which is kind of neat. But you get a nice blur into the image as well. So did I make it so you can edit this text? Yes, I did. I like it when I pre-plan stuff. So yeah, you can totally do it with masks or blend modes. When you start doing blend modes and masks and that kind of stuff, you have to create more layers. Otherwise, things don't tend to work properly because, you know, you've got all these kinds of different things going on and they don't blend or merge or work well together, especially when you start adding text shadows and stuff too. But it's totally doable to mix with those kinds of things. Let's open some of these. What do we got here? Robert shared this one. Oh yeah, you could totally put something like that behind it. You just kind of got to layer and blend and mask it. With the background clip, that has to be a background image, but if you're going to do something like this, you would probably use like a blend mode or something like that. What's the Stitch demo? Isn't CodePen great that you can just set? Yeah. So you could do something like that. How does this one work? SVG text? Oh yeah, cool. I have a star in that stitched format somewhere. Oh yeah, okay. So it's inside the SVG. Yeah, Yeah. So, you know, take that, combine it with something else. I think we've hit our half hour. Do I need to finish up? Is anyone going to make a cool code pen and show it in the break?
Hey, Mandy.
Hello.
Oh, how are you?
I am good.
Good. I massively enjoyed that, even though, of course, I was a little bit disappointed that you couldn't do that in 8 minutes, but, you know, still amazing work. Thank you. I think it's an amazing start for hopefully a very festive and holiday rest of the event. And I would like to invite everyone to kind of come with us to main stage, where Vitaly will begin the main talks in a bit. We'll do more text effects things later on in the session, and I hope to see you back there as well, Mandy.
Do try and like bring your own for the next bit, everybody.
Fantastic. See you in a bit.
Thanks. Oh, I am good to go. Okay. Let me just do the thing. That's cool. I'll just point out, I did make the stitch text effect while I was listening to the talks. I don't know if you can see it. So I used that, I used that example that was shared so basically SVG. I've ripped out my my tartan background. Works is that you can set up a pattern inside the defs for your SVG. So that's this image here. So if I just like that over here, Tabby Cat, got my tartan pick. I do like a bit of tartan. My family is technically one side of my family Scottish, so I thought it was a good one to go with. So you can set up your image. Oh, you like my hat? Yeah, this one's good. It's got a little Christmas tree. I'm wearing red. Oh, it's not really the networking. I don't know if it counts. But I do like this. Hang on, wait. I know I'm supposed to be coding right now, but I actually do have another really great Christmas tree hat. I hope you guys like this one. This one's pretty good, huh? Anyway, this one's got bells, which is quite distracting. My deepest apologies. So you can have the background image, and the way that we do this is just set the fill on the text. So in this case, it's called red because the text used to be red. Terrible class naming, should call it background or something. Do not do what I've just done. That is terrible. Nobody would understand how it works. But you have the fill for the image that I just showed you in the SVG, and that will add it to the background. So if I just get rid of that, you can kind of see how the layers work. So now it's black, right? So the way that I've done the stitching, if I get rid of the stroke, you can see it a little bit better. I've actually just done 2 copies of the text. So inside the thing you'll see here, we've got the first copy, which is the background, and then the second copy, which is the stitch. And then because they're the same size, the stitch is going to be around the outside edge. And we're just doing that with the dash array. So to make it look like it's actually like a proper stitch where you leave a little bit of an edge, if you add in a stroke width, that's sort of the width that you want it to be, and then you add in for the fill, instead of specifying a color, you set the image. It will sort of expand that image to fill the stroke as well. And it's the reason that I like this example with the tartan is that you can kind of see that the lines actually join up into the stroke. If we were doing this in just CSS, getting that to align would be a little bit tricky. Maybe if you did it with a gradient or something, it would work. But it's neat how with the SVG it all kind of just lines up and works. You can obviously change the width of the stroke to whatever you want it to be. I chose 3 because I thought it looked nice, but if you want a big chunky one, you can do that. And then you can add some other things in as well. Like I've put some drop shadows in so that it kind of looks like it's sort of sitting on that board. But yeah, stitch text. Does anyone have something that they want to share, or should I attempt to make something else in like 5 minutes? There's only a few of us. I really like this one. I tweaked the scale of the background image while people were talking, and I think it gave it a really nice glowy effect. Oh, we've got an example. I'm going to open it. This will be fun. Let's just bring it over onto my screen. Oh, very cute. Oh, I like this one. Is there snow? I see there's some JavaScript there. Is the JavaScript doing something? Maybe. Oh, it's disabled. It's disabled. Oh, okay, cool. But that looks awesome. I like the font that you use. What font's that? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Cool. Anyone else? This is really good. I like the background image you've got there too. I do find that the background image, like if I take the background image out of this, let me demonstrate how important background images are. I feel like it really makes a difference as to how cool the text looks. Otherwise, it just kind of looks unfinished. But when you add everything around it, it all starts to look real swish. I actually have no idea how much time we have. Oh, can I uncomment some lines? Where did we go? Let's do that. Why did you disable the snow? Which lines am I uncommenting? These ones? Yeah. For performance reasons. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Is your snow not very performant? Is that why? I kind of feel like that's probably accurate for real life snow. Although I'll be honest, I live in Australia in Perth, so we don't really get snow. We only get snow in this one mountain. Well, it's not really a mountain. It's like I think it's technically classed as a knoll. And when it snows, we can make a tiny little muddy snowman that's like this big. Anyways, did anyone else try and make a text effect? Or is this is the everyone else is too like excited by the awesome talks, which were both really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed, which is great, especially given that it's midnight here in Perth. I don't think I showed this one last time. I made this one, but I'm not quite happy with it. The alignment's a bit off and I don't like the light, but the point is that it's supposed to flicker in a tree like a light, but I'm still working on it. It's just a keyframe animation. This one was cool. Excellent example. Where did I'm lost, everybody. Where did my thing go? Oh, this was the example for the stitched one that I did. So I took the pen that was shared for the stitch text with the SVG. I'll be honest, I'd never made a text effect with the SVG before, so that I managed to pull this together in a short space of time made me infinitely happy. So you might have just kickstarted me into adding a series of SVG but styled text effects into my collection. Oops. I've forgotten where I was. So nobody else made a cool coat pen? Like Alexander's totally amazing coat pen. I lost my my text effects. How long did you say that I had left? Was it 10 minutes? Let's look at this one. Actually, no. We will look at this one because, you know, animating the following on from Alexander's cool candy one. This one I wanted to show, because what's really cool about this, right, is that it actually uses about 4 minutes. It uses a variable font. It's called Pimlico. And what I think is really cool about it is it's got this little glow bit on the actual font itself. So I've layered this, but it's actually quite difficult to get little bits like this inside the font itself, because obviously, you know, fonts are flat files, so adding bits of texture onto them can only really be done with images. So what I thought was really cool about this font, I might just open it up so you can see what it looks like when it's not covered with moving things. Thank you. I'm glad that you like my collection of text effects. I enjoy making them. It is super fun. They are, I don't know, there's something fun about making text effects. I've learned a lot from CSS by making them, and I have used them on occasion in real production websites. Yeah, so, sorry, my computer is having a sad time. So it's got these little bumpy bits, and because they're actually part of the font itself, is there the variable font in this? This is my Chrome, like, not loading at all. Isn't that sad? I don't know what's going on with Chrome today. Doesn't give me the variable font to play with. Maybe? No. But by layering it, because it's got that built in, we can have the cool shadow, and then you can animate the stripes over it. So all the stripes are is a linear gradient that you can use to create the solid stripes. And then when you animate them, where's my stripe animation? You basically just shift the background positions. So with Alexander's cool pen, you could also have it so that it's sort of rotating as well if you wanted to. Although that's not what a real candy cane would do. I just like the effect. So like animating gradients is quite simple in that regard, and because it just ends up being a repeated stripes, it tends to be quite an easy effect to accomplish. It's something that I've done quite a bit. Haikyuu, very good. Last episode this weekend, great anime. If you're into anime, where is that? Here. Yeah. So depending on what kind of font you use, this is a font that I really like. It is a Google font, but because of the way that it's set up, when you put the animated gradient through it like this, it ends up giving this really cool effect that goes through everything. This font's called Bungee Shade. So like you could easily change this to like any colors that you wanted, you can see how it creates the gradient. I think I got that right. But did it work? Yeah, cool, huh? I don't know, maybe let's just make it black. So you can kind of create this cool candy cane effect, relatively straightforward. Like it's not, it seems like it would be quite difficult to get animated lines, but one of the great things about CSS is that there's a lot of ways to do things if you just have a bit of a play around and experiment with them. Think doing things like text effects, especially having a theme like the holidays, lets you learn a lot about different ways to apply CSS. And then when you have to do something maybe in your workplace, it's a lot easier to do. What would happen if I did this? I don't like the black. It's too much. Oh yeah, that's better. Maybe I should put a background image in. Should I put a background image in? What have I got? Nah, maybe that one. Let's do that one. Nah, I already used that one. This one? Cool. Well, I must have hit time now. I don't want to go over and interfere with people missing out on the... Yeah, I have. Cool. Well, thanks, everyone. I hope you go and make some cool text effects and enjoy Christmas. I don't know how to finish that off. I hope you enjoyed my hats. Great job, Alexander. Thank you so much for sharing your awesome code pen. Merry Christmas.